Okay, we're on another side quest today. I am still here in Finland. It is actually my day to go home, but it's going to be a little interesting specifically because today is Monday and I don't actually go back until Tuesday. So I have to drive back to Vasa. I'm going to spend some time in Vasa, I believe, and then fly to Stockholm. I have a tattoo appointment in Stockholm as soon as I get off the plane, essentially, and then stay overnight in Stockholm, and then I fly home. So that's what this video is going to be, is just kind of the end of the travel stuff. I have no idea what's going to happen, obviously, but right now I'm going to drive into Vasa. There's some like old, couple 100-year-old like ruins. I guess ruins is not the right word. Old buildings. I don't know. I'm going to go check those out. I'm going to go get a coffee and then basically just get ready to fly to Stockholm. So that's what today is. Okay, so made it to Old Vasa. Yeah, I don't know a ton about it, but I'm gonna walk around, check it out, and see what it looks like. All right, I don't know if this is even gonna be exciting to anybody, but this is actually the site of one of the original schools in the area. So kind of gives you a perspective, especially on size, pretty tiny. It's a whole plaque. I don't need to run through the whole details on it, but yeah, built in 1691. So definitely neat. I mean, it just feels like I'm, walking through a bunch of rocks, but it's kind of cool to just stand somewhere that, a bunch of people that long ago would have learned, and this would have been part of their daily life, is in this spot. So we're not far from the main part of Vasa, but yeah, from my understanding, and once again, please, if anybody knows this better than I do, you're more than welcome to correct me on it. But yeah, this was kind of that original settlement, and then after a fire, it seems like around 1850, a lot of this burnt down and forced some people into more coastal regions. But yeah, a lot more info here. If you want to stop it and read a bit more and get the flies out of the way, more than welcome to. Admittedly, I do not get a lot of time to go check out this kind of stuff when I get to travel. The only reason I'm getting to do it this time is actually because the Vasa airport is so small and there are so many people needing to leave, and my flight being booked a little bit later on, there was no more flights to go out, so I'm sticking around for an extra day. But yeah, it's neat, and I'm okay with it. Like I said, I very rarely get to do this kind of stuff, so for me it's kind of cool. Crazy to think, and this isn't even a massive stone structure, but it's quite big. Somebody would have, well, multiple people would have had to find or quarry these rocks, put all this together with, very old style of cement. So kind of curious what, going back to old days of working in a concrete plant, of like what they would have used to do that. And you can see some of the ties in there, the big iron spikes, and some of these ties, which I'm assuming would go through to hold up rafters. But pretty ingenious for the time to think that far ahead as you're building it. So in this case, this is the bell tower that we were just looking at. And once again, if you want to read more, there you go. So this part, not much left. You can kind of see just where the stones are. This is the town hall. And what looks to be the biggest structure left over, and one that is under what seems like heavy reconstruction. I'm going to assume a lot of the red brick we're seeing in here is part of the rebuild on this, but it's the St. Mary's Church. Kind of neat too. It shows you, sorry, I just saw a sign. I wasn't sure what that meant. Probably translate that and make sure I'm allowed to go in, but yeah, you can see the footprint designs throughout the years. It's kind of funny reading through this, how things really haven't changed. Essentially what this is kind of going through and explaining is that the people of the town were pissed off that one of the contractors made a miscalculation that cost them money. So yeah, I mean, I just think it's funny because like people complaining now about taxes and the cost of things because of government mismanagement. And I mean, it's not a new thing. Just a bit more information on the church and some of the rebuild of it. It is under even more repair now. I'm gonna double check, but that sign back there just said that don't climb on the walls. So I'm gonna check everything with Google Translate just to make sure. I don't want to piss anybody off, but yeah, a bit more info for you. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, a lot of restoration, a lot of brickwork, but I don't know why I'm being quiet in here. I just feel like I should be. Super, super cool. I'm going to, I'll pause at each of these if you guys want to read them, just in case. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each one, so. I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to read all of them. Where's our English in here? Oh, there we go. Ah. Super, super neat though. Okay, moved on to downtown Vasa, which is stunning. Right in the middle of the city here. Cool little pathway like right in the middle of the street, but yeah, seems like there's a cafe every 10 feet, which I'm not mad about, so I have to have a couple cups of coffee while I'm here. So this is kind of the big square in the middle. Pretty cool. Not entirely sure significance of this. 1918. I'm going to guess this is a war monument of some kind, but really, really cool area. Have all these little spots here. I might get a burger. I don't need a burger, but I might get a burger. And yeah, pretty cool spot. Mall in there. I checked out a few spots, but other than that, I mean, kind of your typical city, I guess in Finland. So one of the things that I like to do is grab random candies and things I've never seen before and bring those home for my kids. Just kind of my little way of being able to go like, okay, here's something. I try not to buy like big items. One, because I like to pack light, and it's just a pain to try and do that. And every time I'm like, I'm going to leave space, something else needs to come back with me. Like in this case, like I got a new sweater, and one sweater difference is a lot when you're just using a carry-on. So yeah, so grab snacks for the kids. It is what, 11:30 now. My flight's at 2. I'm only about half an hour away from the airport. That would get me there around noon. It's still probably a little early, so I might go find something else to do, but I don't know. I might also just find a cool spot to park and hang out or take a nap and kind of waste the next hour. Okay, made it to Stockholm. No real drama. I had to check my carry-on because they told me it was too big, even though it's standard size. But a lot of the hopper flights you find in Europe, I mean, hopper flights anywhere, the little ones like the twin prop, their overhead is very, very close to what luggage companies use. So to keep that in mind. But waiting on Uber, and it's off to get a tattoo. But I have a super cool tip for you if you do travel. So nomadic gear in particular, but a lot of luggage. If you've got these two zippers, I can see if I can do this one-handed. You can loop one through the other like this, and then that way, if you've got it on your back, if someone tries to zip open your bag, it pulls both with it. So you have to undo it. It's a bit of a pain for them, but that means they're not going to steal anything from your bag. Not that I think it's going to happen in Stockholm, but I mean, any major city it could happen, but just a fun little tip there. All right, went for a tattoo. Actually went super, super well. Amazing person who did it. And yeah, ended up going solo leveling, and now I'm gonna go find dinner. She gave me a spot that's like in the underground that serves mead, so about as Swedish as I could imagine. So that's where we're off to next. So I'm in a medieval style restaurant in a basement in Sweden. Never thought I'd be here.
Only the best languages.
All right, all wrapped up dinner. Pretty cool spot. So it was basically all like medieval Nordic food, just kind of cool. I haven't really talked about it much, but my younger brother passed away in October. It might have been November, I can't actually remember. It's kind of a blurry time, but he was very, very much into Nordic mythology. So to be honest with you, it was actually kind of emotional being there. I guess I don't know. I definitely teared up in my meat a little bit, but it was nice. It was nice to think about it. So I'm gonna do some more walking and then head back to the hotel. All right, so I've been walking for, I don't know, probably 45 minutes or so. What's interesting is I'm now out of the, I guess, like the hipster and tourism neighborhood and kind of more into the downtown city culture, which honestly, if I didn't know any better, I feel like I'm downtown Toronto or downtown Montreal or even parts of New York. It's really, really interesting to me how not every city is the same, but it's just a variation on the same model, which is like downtown city core, big central station, you got your hipster neighborhoods on the outskirts, you got a tourism area. I guess it's just what makes sense, but it's just interesting how all these different countries that I have been to have a very similar structure, I guess out of necessity. So probably gonna walk for another hour or so and then finally catch a cab back to the hotel. All right, this one got me. That's kind of funny. Okay, into the hotel here in Stockholm. It is currently, I'm very tired actually, and to meet is quite a lot. It's 8 p.m. The dude at the front desk recommended that I take the shuttle at 7:30 for my flight that boards at 9:30. He thinks 2 hours is a good amount of time. I think I can do it way less, but I'm gonna listen. I am somebody who gets to the airport pretty early. I do believe there is a Delta or at least an SAS lounge that I can go to, so that's not too bad. And last I checked, there was 13 Delta One, so the pod seats available on my flight. Not the highest tier of member on Delta, but fingers crossed, because that would be absolutely incredible. If not, at least in Comfort Plus. Yeah, I do fly a lot. I try to stick with Delta. I do strongly believe that their rewards program is probably the best, one of the best, if not the best. So that's why I stick with it, because I get upgraded to Comfort Plus pretty much every flight now. First class, I would say half the time. Delta One, I've had twice in the last 12 months. So we'll see. But I'm fucking exhausted. So I'm going to go to bed and we'll see how tomorrow goes. And if it's something exciting, I'll let you know. If not, then follow me on my journey back to Florida. All right, I am back in Florida and I've shaved. Journey home was actually very boring. I did not get the upgrade that I wanted, which it happens. It's fine. I still got an upgrade out of it, so I'm not, not mad at all. I am glad that I took the guy's advice, because the way that airport is laid out, and where they dropped me off, I had to walk a pretty far distance, clear through kind of normal security, scanning your bags and stuff. Then I had to go through another, basically like my border control stuff, to then kind of get into a pre-staging area to then board the plane. So I had about a half an hour left over. I could have scrubbed it a little bit more and more or less ran to my gate, but either way, wasn't really necessary. But I am home now. I'm actually just editing out that video and forgot to close out the whole thing. I think I'm just gonna keep this as a members only video. I would love to release these and kind of talk about this stuff more and more publicly, but admittedly the algorithm on YouTube is pretty nasty, and if you don't kind of stick in your lane, it doesn't work. Although I've toyed with the idea of starting another channel, but really I'd rather just support the members. So if you are making it this far, more than likely you are a member. I really appreciate it. It's $1.50, and I know you could spend that money elsewhere, but I do appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on these, if there's more stuff you want me to cover. I have a bunch of cool stuff coming up. I have a drift day, it looks like, coming up. Not sure how I'm going to document that, but I'm really trying to play out all this YouTube stuff. So if you guys have suggestions, if you have any input, please drop it down in the comments. Other membership things that you guys are a part of, things that you like, things that you don't like, things that you want to see. You guys are very early on with this whole thing, so you get to mold what it is that you want to see. So please let me know. Other than that, I think that's kind of it. I'm going to finish editing this video, get this bad boy posted, and thanks again for all your support, guys. Talk to you soon.